Today you'll be looking at rational inequalities. A rational inequality is an inequality in the form f of x is greater than 0, less than 0, less than or equal to 0, or greater than or equal to 0, where f of x is a rational function. So notice we have an example here, and we have a rational function on the left, and we have an inequality of 0. So remember with polynomial inequalities, we looked at x-intercepts. We will do the same for rational inequalities. So if we look at the graph that's provided, this is what a rational function looks like when you graph it. And there are a couple different things to note. We also need to know where x is undefined, which in this case is x equals -2, because if I set the denominator equal to 0 and solve for x, it's actually what we call an asymptote if we were to graph it. So we need to know where x is undefined, so we set the denominator equal to 0. And so we get x equals -2. So essentially what we'll do is we'll set the numerator and the denominator equal to 0 as our testing region. So just by looking at our graph, and our original inequality sign is a greater than, so where is our function above the x-axis? So notice if we look this branch, so if we're looking at x, we say from -infinity to -2, and we also have from the x-intercept and on. Okay, so those are the two places in which our function is positive or above the x-axis. Okay, so when we are doing these inequalities, we're going to follow pretty much the same steps we did with polynomial inequalities. We want to make sure the inequality has a 0 on the right side. Once we have that, we're going to set the numerator and denominator equal to 0. These are our boundary points. Once we do that, we'll find the boundary points on a number line. Then we'll test a value between each interval into the original function. And then we'll write our solution set that satisfies the inequality. So if we look at this first example, the first thing we'll do is we'll set the numerator and the denominator equal to 0. And when we solve for x for 3x plus 1 equals 0, we do get x is equal to -1/3. And for x plus 2 equal to 0, we do get x to equal -2. Now, which one is where x is undefined? Well, you have to look and see which one is in the denominator of the fraction. Well, this one is. So this is my undefined, or where the asymptote is. So if we're going to mark those on our number line, so note we had -2 was undefined. That's our asymptote. I'm going to put an A there. And where -1/3 is, we'll put a 0 because that is where we have the location of a 0. So now we're ready to do some testing points. So we can pick anything smaller than -2. So let's say we wanted to test x equals -3. And we plug that into our original inequality. We know 3 times -3 is -9 plus 1 over -3 plus 2, which would be -8 over -1, which is a positive number. So I'm going to put plus signs there. Now let's test x equals 0 because it is in between -1/3. Uh-oh, I made a boo-boo already. I grabbed +1/3 instead of -1/3. Okay, so we can't test 0 yet. That's in a different region, but we can test x equals -1. So we'll have -3, because 3 times -1, plus 1 over -1 plus 2, which would give us a -2/1, which in this case is a negative. Now because 0 is in a region to the right of the 0, we can test 0. 3 times 0 is 0, so we'll have 1 in the top and 2 on the bottom, which is a positive number. Now, we look at our original inequality, and note our original inequality is a greater than or equal to. But my asymptote is always where I'm undefined. So regardless of what the symbol is, It is undefined in the original problem. I'm still going to put a parenthesis, okay? And where the 0 is, I'm going to put a straight bracket. So here is our final answer. We're going to do everything smaller than -2 and everything bigger than -1/3. Okay, and remember, we're going to use a parenthesis here because this is where the function is undefined. Take a minute or two and try the example you try. Okay, so for this example, you should get a straight bracket around the -3/2 and a parenthesis around the 3. And the reason being, if I set x minus 3 equal to 0 in the denominator of the function, it isn't undefined. Let's look at another example, and we're going to do essentially the same thing that we just did. Okay, so we will set each factored piece equal to 0. So x plus 4 equal to 0, x minus 1 equal to 0, and x minus 3 equal to 0. And x equals 3 is where it is undefined. So on our number line, we'll put an A on the 3. X minus 1 equal to 0 is x equals 1, and x plus 4 equals 0 is x equals -4. So for those values, we put zeros. Okay, so now we're ready to test some points. Let's try x equals -5 because it is to the furthest left of all of our boundary points. -5 plus 4 is -1, -5 minus 1 is -6, and -5 minus 3 is -8. And this would give me a positive over a negative, which is a negative. So I'm going to put a negative down here. Notice 0 is in between our two zeros, so let's test x equals 0. 0 plus 4 is 4, 0 minus 1 is -1 over -3, which would give me a negative over a negative, which is a positive. Let's test in between the two zeros, so it looks like we can test 2. And let's see, we'll have a 6 times 1 over -1, which is a negative. And let's pick something else. Let's try 4. And notice we'll have 8 times 3 over 1, which is a positive. And notice how, just like with polynomials, our signs alternated. That will be the case again. And notice because we have a less than, we want to hug the negatives. Everywhere gets parentheses. So our final answer then is -infinity to -4 union 1, 2, oh, I forgot the 1. 1, 2, 3. Try this example, you try. Okay, so hopefully for this one you had -infinity to -5 with the straight bracket, and then from -1 to 2 ending with the straight bracket. Remember, -1 gets a parenthesis because that's when the function is undefined. In this last type of problem, this inequality does not equal 0. So in order for us to do this type of question, we have to make it equal 0. So we have to subtract 2 on both sides of the inequality. Okay, now just like you did in Algebra 2, you have to get a common denominator. So our common denominator between x plus 3 and 1 is x plus 3. So we'll have x plus 1 over x plus 3 plus -2 times x plus 3 over x plus 3. And then just like you did in Algebra 2, you're able to write this as one fraction. And I'm going to distribute in the same step. Okay, so x plus 1 plus -2x minus 6 all over x plus 3 is greater than or equal to 0, or -x minus 5 over x plus 3 is greater than or equal to 0. And once we have the it greater than or equal to 0, this becomes our new inequality that we're going to test. So we're going to set that numerator equal to 0 and that denominator equal to 0. So negative x equals 5, or x equals negative 5, and I'll put a 0 there. And we'll have x equals negative 3. But remember, because it's on the bottom, this is where it is undefined, and I have to put that asymptote or that a. Okay, so once we get this far, now we're ready to test values. Let's test x equals negative 6. Now, it's important to remember we have to use our inequality that has 0 on one side. Do not use the original in this case. Okay, so we'll have 6 minus 5 over negative 6 plus 3. So we'll have a positive over a negative, which is a negative. If we test x equals negative 4, we will have 4 minus 5 over negative 4 plus 3, which would be a negative over a negative, which is a positive. And then I'm going to test x equals 0 also. So we'll have negative 5 over 3, which is a negative. Okay, and because our inequality is a greater than or equal to, we want to hug our plus signs. And the 0 gets the straight bracket. The asymptote or undefined portion gets the parenthesis. That's it. Try this last question on your own. Okay, so hopefully you found this one from negative infinity to negative 1 with a parenthesis, because x plus 1 is where the function is undefined, and straight bracket 1 to infinity. You are officially ready for some practice.